What's up, everybody, and welcome to Pizza and Pixels, the show where JP and I order a pizza, talk about video games until that pizza shows up, and it goes live every other Saturday at noon Eastern on youtube.com/HexxedPhenom, or you can get it on audio's podcast services around the globe, places like Stitcher, Apple Podcasts, iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, really any podcast service of your choosing.
I never get tired of that. That intro is great.
And today, of course, we're going to be talking about the big news that hit yesterday, Call of Duty Modern Warfare. And we'll also be talking about a little bit of cloud gaming. But, of course,
Jizztastic.
the first, well, technically it's going to be the second thing we do today. We got to order the pizza. But the first thing that I want to do is I want to remind you guys that this beautiful shirt right here, of course, if you guys didn't know, if you guys missed the video I uploaded last week about it, we are selling, well, I'm selling this shirt on the merch store. Of course, it's linked down in the description below and in the podcast description as well if you're on, Spotify and all the podcast services. Of course, for the audio listeners, if you can't see it,
They're probably visualizing what this shirt is. They're
like,
probably like, what am I missing right now?
I mean, the easiest thing would just be to go to youtube.com/HexxedPhenom, click on the video, and check it out. But
You can check his Instagram.
you can also check my Instagram.
Hell
Instagram, Instagram.com/HexxedPhenom.
Instacracker. No,
But it is basically a beach scene. It says Extra Life 2019 on it. It has my logo in the sand. It has a lighthouse with my dad's initials running down the side.
It's a very sexy lighthouse.
And of course,
Yeah, very nice.
if you guys didn't know, last year I live streamed on this channel for 24 hours straight to raise money for our local Children's Miracle Network hospital. Of course, that is Penn State Children's Hospital in Hershey, Pennsylvania. We're going to be doing it again this year. We're going to be doing it on Saturday, August 17th at 11 a.m. until Sunday, August 18th at 11 a.m. 24 hours straight of gaming, shenanigans, good times, and of course, we're going to be raising money for Penn State Children's Hospital through Extra Life. If you guys would like to buy a shirt, $5 from every shirt, which is any money that I would make on it. So $5 from every shirt goes towards our Extra Life goal. And our goal for this year is to raise $1,000. We raised $365 last year. So, I don't know. I'm excited.
I'm pretty excited. And the best part is you will probably get to see Josh defend that air belt that is right in that corner.
Exactly. I will be defending the HexxedPhenom World Championship.
And we don't know what it's going to be, but God, I hope it's not that golf game. Because if not, I will just surrender.
That's the only game I'm defending it in.
Imagine Anthony. And you're going to face Josh for the title. Yes. What are we going to play? Golf.
Everybody's golf. That's about the only game I can guarantee a victory in.
The 24/7 Golfers Championship title.
The Golfers Championship.
Damn right. We're going to rock it.
Other than that, if you guys can't afford a shirt, you could just go to my Extra Life site and donate there, which will also be linked in the description. Really, any dollar amount helps, but thank you guys for considering for donating, and I'm excited to get that 24-hour stream underway in August. But,
oh yeah,
of course, these shirts will be on sale until the end of August. But with that being said, guys, let's order the pizza.
Yo, apparently we are going outside of the box, because Domino's is just Domino's. But what you thinking? You think we're gonna do the big one? We're gonna go with the big dinner box. We're going double wide here.
We're going with the big
dinner box.
With a big dinner box from Pizza Hut. So the question is, JP, we're gonna get the big dinner box with wings, but do you want boneless wings or do you want traditional wings?
Damn.
That's the age-old question.
It comes down to, do I want chicken nuggets or do I want to just go in between the bone and, do that whole thing? I don't know. That's totally up to you, because wings are wings.
All right, let's go.
So
let's go traditional wings.
And I know we're recording more of our Retro Redux. We're gonna definitely be recording the final parts of Crash Bash. I know right now, I think there's been 2 episodes uploaded of Crash Bash.
Yeah.
And I think we have Yeah, so there's probably going to be around, I'd say, like, what, you think 9-10 episodes tops, I think, of Crash Bash? Just about.
I don't remember
we
how
have
many
six
we
done, I think.
I think we have...
We have more than half done recorded.
Yeah.
That's
I
for
think
sure.
total there will be like 10.
Okay. So,
10 or 11.
We're aiming at that. And then we got a lot of cool things coming up. And
Of course, CTR is coming out
on
in
there.
just a couple weeks. The 21st?
21st. I've been waiting.
Just 20, 21, 22 days away now.
I noticed with all these remasters I've been looking forward to. It's like I am 8, 7, 6 years old again, depending on when the game came out originally in the 90s. CTR obviously was 99, so I was 8, but yeah. Looking back, think of the time until it comes out, I try to put in the back of my mind, and it seems like just yesterday it was like 6 to 7 months away. You remember that shit? And I was like, damn, is this ever going to get here? And here we are literally less than a month away. So, very, very excited about that.
I'm excited too.
Oh, hell yeah, man. Those remasters, man. My God. So how many come with the large traditional wings out of curiosity?
What was that?
How many wings come with the...
Oh,
that's pretty cool. So, wow. 2 medium, 1 topping pizzas. Holy shit. Damn, we are in fact going double wide. I am very excited. I don't have kids, but when I do, I'll go, I have kids.
I got kids.
I hope the God Heath Slater is still, like, somewhat relevant when my kids are, like, at least, I don't know, whenever I do have them, like, maybe, like, 6 or 7, so, like, Daddy, who's that? Oh, that's Heath Slater. He goes double wide.
He goes double wide.
And I could be like, honey, he has kids.
You want anything to drink or no?
Sure. Hey, if you're feeling it, I'm down. Got me a bottle of water, too, so we're all set.
What are you feeling? Pepsi, Diet Pepsi, Mountain Dew, Sierra Mist, or root beer?
Oh, Mountain Derp sounds pretty awesome. Yo, speaking of Mountain Derp, did you see that they are making the Liberty Brew with 50 flavors that they have done all in one flavor bottle? I am excited.
What was it? How many years ago was it that they did the Red, White, and Dew or whatever? That was like 2 years ago, I think.
Oh, Democracy, practically. That was, 2-3 years ago. I have a painting that, like, symbolizes that, which is cool. I feel like I might have to, like, attempt something that combines colors from every flavor. Maybe. That'd be cool.
That would be pretty cool.
And then they'd be like, sir, you don't drink much soda. Why do you love Mountain Dew so much? Because Mountain Dew is Mountain Dew. That's like that's like Dr. Pepper. Like, you can't knock the Doc. I mean, hey, that kind of rhymed too, which is funny.
You can't
knock the Doc. You can't knock the Doc. Just someone going in for their yearly physical. Sir, why are you sitting here? Because I can't knock the Doc. They'd probably be like, sir, you have a free physical. Excuse me. Oh, man, yo. Man, I'm looking at the side screen. I just see that title in the back, and I think about me attempting to be AJ Golden Styles, because Joe was like, you should be Golden AJ Styles. Let me tell you, that was not the best idea. And then I learned that resiliency does not work when you get totally finished, essentially, which is actually very realistic. I like that. That HexxedPhenom title is gonna be mine. Imagine if I just pulled a hardcore title build out of nowhere. 24/7 rule.
By God.
The real title. By God, he's got it. He's got the real title. Jesus Christ.
By God, he got the real title.
Yo, all I know is I have not had... This is very nostalgic. I have not had a dinner box from Pizza Hut since the day that WB 13 came out.
God damn.
Yeah, because when WB 13 came out, we had the Coastal Storm, and I could not go to the midnight release because the Coastal Storm closed the fucking shop, even though it was a quarter mile from my house.
That was what,
State
Hurricane
College.
Sandy?
I think I don't know, because we got a crap ton of snow and everything from it, like hail, snow.
Oh
ice.
Yeah, it was in October.
It was October, it was insane, and I remember the midnight release was canceled. I was so pissed because at my apartment in State College, it was only like a quarter mile. And early in the morning that next day, it was still fucking hailing, but they were opening. My buddy told me. So I walked my ass a quarter mile to half a mile in the fucking ice. Dude, it felt like I was walking 3 miles. It was insane. I was getting pelted by hail and shit, but I got that game. And my ass immediately went to the bus stop because I was not walking back half a mile or whatever the hell it was. And I went home and I ordered myself an ultimate dinner box from Pizza Hut.
Nice.
And I did not regret it at all. Oh my god. I played through that campaign, or whatever mode it was known as. Attitude Era mode. Oh. So I guess, we got the order in?
Yep.
Alright, cool. So we are going to get right on down the gaming and all that good shit.
All right, so we're going to start off by talking about just a little thing that came out over the past couple of weeks since we last did the show. Sony and Microsoft team up on cloud gaming ahead of Google Stadia.
Man, that's incredible.
So this collaboration now puts PlayStation Now on Microsoft's Azure, I don't know how to pronounce that really, system of servers. In a way, yeah.
Wow.
We'll talk about it a little bit, but I'm gonna read through this article. Sony and Microsoft are teaming up to develop new technologies for cloud-based gaming services, a move that looks to shore up both console makers as Google's planned gaming streaming service, Google Stadia, prepares to enter the market. Obviously, the two companies, PlayStation and Xbox platforms, have current hardware and software that compete directly in that space. But their collaboration will contribute greatly to the advancements of interactive content, Sony's chief executive said in a statement released by Microsoft. So, the two console gaming rivals signed a memorandum of understanding under which both companies will, quote, explore joint development of future cloud solutions and Microsoft Azure to support their respective game and content streaming services, the statement said. This will include using Azure Data Center solutions for Sony's existing game streaming services. Quote, these efforts will also include building better development platforms for the current creator community, the statement said.
Wow, that's insane. So you're telling me PlayStation and Xbox will have joint cloud streaming servers practically from Microsoft?
Servers, yes.
Holy shit,
but
that's insane.
The question that I've seen a lot of people pose, which obviously we still don't really know anything about, is it possible that we could see at some point down the line, Xbox games come to PlayStation, PlayStation games come to Xbox, you know what I mean?
I feel like Halo's going to be the first series that jump ship to it, but yeah, I think that's going to happen now.
I mean,
there's nothing stopping them, let's be real now. They're on the same page.
Yeah, I mean,
the fanboys are going to be pissed.
Because, I mean, when you think about it, here, let me finish up the article and then I'll get into it, but PlayStation already offers a cloud gaming service, PlayStation Now, a streaming service launched in 2014. The service allows subscribers access to a library of more than 700 PlayStation, PlayStation 2, and PlayStation 4 titles. I don't know why it doesn't say PS3 titles, but whatever. For $19.99 a month, Microsoft's Game Pass, while not a streaming service, offers subscribers access to a curated library of 200 games for $9.99 a month. In September, PlayStation Now announced it will follow Game Pass's suite by enabling downloads of games in its library for playing offline, which as of right now that only works for PS4 and PS2 games, so it doesn't work with PS3 games, unfortunately.
Yo, all I know is having that download feature, that changes everything. The more I'm hearing about this, the more I'm like getting ready to go to PlayStation Now before when I thought I was going to. It's getting really good. This is really crazy. I like it. I like what I'm hearing.
But yeah, that's pretty much the big thing of the article. There's a couple of quotes back and forth between lead executives from Microsoft and Sony, but nothing that's super important to the whole thing. But
that's really cool. That's something I was always hoping would happen. It's just I think the fanboys of consoles got in the way of that entirely. But yep, I'm glad we're finally in the right area.
I mean, the whole game streaming thing is going to be interesting to see how long it is until it's like a mainstream thing. Because I feel like even with the launch of the next console generation, it's definitely going to be more prominent than it was in, obviously this generation.
My God, yeah, I remember trying that when it was, like, unknown. Like, oh, yeah, we have PlayStation Now. Well, I guess I'll try it for a week.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
But I think we're going to be a long way from it being like an ideal way to play games, because I mean,
It's very convenient now, though. Like they've let alone the future, so I'm excited. But yeah,
I mean,
it'll take time.
I mean, obviously, I'm not in the position to say anything because my internet is thankfully
Fast
way
as
faster
hell.
than it really needs to be honest with you.
What's your internet again? 500? Is it at 500?
500 down, 50 up, I believe.
Damn, that's insane.
But
Holy shit.
I know there are people that are much less fortunate, and obviously in more rural areas, they get something probably less than 10 megabits per second download. And from what I've been seeing, at least from what Google has talked about for Stadia, they're recommending to be able to play at 1080p at 60 FPS.
They're gonna up it already. I could already hear this.
They're recommending somewhere around 25 megabits per second.
So basically, PlayStation and Microsoft win this flat out already. Because what they require, 5 to 6?
That's for what PlayStation Now is right now, but I don't. I think that's like
It might go to
just
10.
bare minimum to be able to play. I don't think that's
play.
for 1080p 60 FPS because I don't even think
1080p. I'd love.
I
to
don't
use
think
that.
PlayStation Now actually even supports 1080p. I think it is always 720p.
I mean, honestly, at that point, unless you're really picky, I don't think you're gonna tell too much of a difference. But
Still, it's
yeah, it's
just
still schematics. Yeah, I can see where that's coming in. All right.
and then
I didn't know they did that. Okay.
so. Like I said, it'll be interesting to see how it works and how long it takes for it to become something that's super mainstream.
It can't be too long. I mean, it seems like digital media distribution is kind of already at its peak with a lot of things. Gaming's a new one, but
Yeah.
I think by the end of the next console generation, it's going to be a mainstream success entirely.
I could see that by the end of the next console generation, definitely.
That's about 7 years away, maybe
Yeah.
like 5 to 7 years. So I'd say so.
Well, 7 years probably from the time it launches,
From the time it launches, yeah,
which will be
2020.
most likely next year. But
Probably holiday 2020. I'm assuming. We'll see.
the interesting thing is going to be, like I said, whether or not we'll see exclusive games cross over between platforms.
I think it's a long time coming, so I think we have it.
Because, I mean, the way I see it, and now there might be some behind-the-scenes thing that I don't know about, but the way I see it is... Okay, so it could still be something... So let's say, like, The Last of Us, for example. It'll obviously still be developed by Naughty Dog.
It'll just be on a different console.
And sales from it will still go to PlayStation and Sony and, Naughty Dog and, all of Sony's, first-party divisions and stuff.
All the people that have to get paid.
They'll just have the option to be able to sell to people on a wider array of people because they would be able to sell it on, presumably, on Xbox and PlayStation. You know what I mean? Because I mean,
that would definitely work all around. I'm sure.
It's been proven. I don't have any facts on this right off the top of my head, but as far as I know, it's been pretty well documented that PlayStation makes way more money on games than they do on hardware sales.
Yep.
So, with that being said,
It's pretty safe to assume that
the fact that they could possibly be selling those games to even more people, you know what I mean?
it's just kind of cool knowing that Microsoft and Sony are now one cohesive unit. I mean, it's going to start at streaming. I'm assuming they're going to go into business together in some way with the hardware.
Yeah, I'm hoping it'll
a TV
eventually
maybe.
lead to something more than just streaming.
What if?
Realistically, though, I could honestly see this just being like, hey,
Let's see where it goes.
I could... The thing is like, I don't mean to be pessimistic, but I could legitimately see this just end up being like, hey, Microsoft is developing all this streaming hardware, and Sony's just paying to have it licensed out to them so they can use it too. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Because I don't know. I mean, I would love to sit here and talk about how grand it would be if, we could sit here and play Forza on PlayStation and Halo and Gears and everything, and how people on Xbox could play God of War and Spider-Man and
I think it'd be
Uncharted
cool
and
also if like Microsoft and Sony, say when they started making hardware, they started making imagine if they made a gaming television together. A full-on smart TV gaming television. That's where I'm kind of seeing this thing that could happen. It just comes down to if they could come to a contract agreement with how do we split sales, how do we make this happen, It all comes down to the bottom dollar, unfortunately, but this is a very good start.
I think we would be a pretty far, like, time away from seeing them develop hardware together. I could see them collaborating on a game
sooner than hardware.
Sooner than hardware, yeah.
So basically, they're gonna kind of just dip their toe in the pool. And then
I think this is dipping their toe in the water to see what happens.
Essentially.
And I don't know. I really hope it leads to something more. But if it doesn't, I can also kind of understand, because I mean, because this is Microsoft and Sony teaming up. This isn't PlayStation and Xbox teaming up, which is the distinction that I think is what separates. You know what I mean? Like, it's
kind of separates that whole idea. Do you think like Bill Gates and all is involved in this, or what? Like the heads of the companies? Or do you think it's a
no? I don't think Bill Gates really.
Bill Gates is making like a crap ton of money every minute. So
well, see, I don't know that he really has that much to do with like
the gaming side.
The ins and outs of Microsoft as much as he used to.
And now he just kind of surveys tech development, I'm sure. Something like that.
Yeah.
Bill Gates is set for life.
Well, he also gives away like so much of it to charity because he could never possibly use that much money.
Exactly right.
But so yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens. I'm excited.
I'm very excited. I'm wondering how the stability of like going from PlayStation servers to the Microsoft ones, I feel like technically it might be better since Microsoft has a good jump in that pool, but I don't know. It's gonna be really cool. I think the quality will be better.
That's one of the main reasons of them for doing it, because I know Sony was shopping around trying to find like
they were trying to find servers,
new streaming servers to be able to not only to be able to better handle what PlayStation Now already provides, but also I would presume to be able to handle games that come in the future. So, you know, PS5 and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think they're just kind of.
And so, pretty much, I mean, if they didn't want to get in bed with Google, which I'm assuming is another reason for doing this, is the only other option they really had was Amazon. You know what I mean?
Can you imagine that? All right, Amazon, let's see what you got. It's like, what?
But as far as I know, PlayStation and Amazon already have kind of a shitty relationship.
Yeah, they have a horrible fucking relationship.
Because I know it's really hard to find, like, PlayStation hardware and, like, hard copies of PlayStation games on Amazon a lot of times.
Yep.
And, well, now Sony won't... Now Sony doesn't provide digital game codes for you to buy either, so those aren't on Amazon anymore either.
Yeah, so they just pulled out entirely, but...
So they're not on great standings with Amazon. So I mean, Microsoft was really their only choice for the most part.
I mean, it kind of makes sense. It's kind of like when Apple was going under years ago, and then Steve Jobs came back, and then Steve Jobs enlisted Bill Gates to help him get Apple back and not have it go bankrupt. And then they had that infamous press conference. So
yeah, it's
kind of like that, except the gaming side of things with Sony and Microsoft, so I'm excited to see where it goes.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm gonna be cautiously optimistic about it. Even if all it does is improve PlayStation Now, I'll be happy. Obviously,
yeah, that's what. I'm just looking forward to.
Really love for it to sprawl out into a beautiful partnership.
That'd be cool
on I think games or hardware, or I mean, hopefully it leads to more crossplay, which we'll get into in a little bit with Call of Duty Modern Warfare.
Into movies.
And
that would be weird.
Yeah, I don't know. Actually, speaking of which, did you see the... This wasn't one of the news things I wanted to talk about, but we could touch on it quick. Did you see that Sony opened up a studio that's specifically made for making PlayStation titles into movies and TV.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that. I was like, movies. I'm like, oh wait.
I can't remember what the studio is called. It's like Sony Entertainment Productions or something like that.
Sony Alpha Omega.
But I believe they confirmed that the first project they're working on is a Twisted Metal TV show.
Oh, so this is that thing that I shared the other day. Oh, I think so, yeah. Oh wow, that's badass. I don't know that had any affiliation with this idea in the studio. That's cool. I'm very excited for that TV series.
But I'm not sure. I know they have been kind of working on an Uncharted movie. I'm not sure if that's part of this initiative as well.
I'm assuming.
But,
I think that went through 3 directors already too. That'd be cool.
I know Tom Holland, who plays Spider-Man in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, was cast as young Nathan Drake for that movie.
Oh, shit.
But I don't know. I don't know if that changed. I don't know. That was literally the last thing I heard about that movie. And that was maybe like 2 years ago, probably even longer now.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I think like around Uncharted 4, I started hearing more
It was like
rumors about it.
A couple months after it came out, somewhere around there.
Oh yeah, yeah. I think that's.
But
that's
yeah,
cool.
Again, that'll be interesting to see. And basically, the idea I'm trying to get my words straight before I just say a bunch of random stuff.
You just come out with it and you're like, should I edit that or not?
No, basically what they said was that they were kind of inspired by what Marvel Studios did with, obviously the Marvel characters. And so basically they were saying that the reason that they're starting a whole studio dedicated to this is so that they can better curate what goes on with those characters and to try to hopefully kind of get rid of the stigma of, video game media, like whether it be TV or movies.
Oh, you talking
try to
about
get rid of
licensing
the stigma of like video game movies being bad and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's like having.
So I guess the way they
superhero
see it
games,
is so since they can curate all of their properties themselves, since it's a PlayStation and Sony owned studio, then I don't know, it makes sense.
I think it makes sense because like for the longest time, let's be honest, a lot of licensed licensed games turned into movies are absolute crap. 90% of the time. I'm glad Spider-Man fully worked out entirely. But yeah, it should be very interesting to see where they go with this and what TV shows and what movies. I wonder where the TV shows and all are gonna go though. Do you think it's gonna be a Netflix thing, or do you think it's gonna be like a Sony platform exclusive thing somehow?
That'll be the interesting thing to see because
I hope it's Netflix. That would be really cool. 'Cause Netflix and Sony could have a really good relationship. I think
could make sense. Maybe
Netflix does all the edgy stuff, and Twisted Metal's edgy, so I'm thinking that would be. I
don't know.
Outlet.
We'll have to see. But yeah, another thing they said was that they what the hell did they say? I don't remember.
Well, I don't know, man.
I don't know. I don't remember.
If it comes to you can always mention it.
True.
There always is the rest of the podcast.
There is. But we're going to dedicate the rest of the podcast to talking about
pizza. No, I'm just kidding.
I mean, we could if we wanted to.
we really could.
Oh, God, our order's out for delivery.
We could talk about Snowball.
All right, so we're going to talk about Call of Duty Modern Warfare. The newly announced Call of Duty 2019 from Infinity Ward. It is a reboot of the franchise,
which is very interesting.
And we're just going to talk about kind of all the news that kind of came out about the game yesterday. So I'm here on Charlie Intel. If you guys don't know what that is, it's a website basically just dedicated to Call of Duty news. If you need your Call of Duty fix, definitely check them out.
This is an entire...
Literally everything I'm about to read is going to be from Charlie Intel, so...
Oh, hell yeah.
Definitely go give them the clicks and whatnot. They deserve it. They were on top of everything yesterday.
Yeah, they seriously were on top of everything.
But,
oh my God.
The headline for this one is Call of Duty Modern Warfare focuses on continuity features through all modes, making it one game. So they said during their studio visit at Infinity Ward... one of the things that the developers made clear in the game is that a big focus is on continuity and consistency across the entire game. So, with Call of Duty Modern Warfare, Infinity Ward says they are focused on ensuring the entire game feels like one game versus 3 separate experiences.
They're not wrong on that one.
They say beyond the gripping single-player campaign, expect a unified narrative experience and progression across the entire game, including single-player, campaign, online multiplayer, and co-op experiences. An example of that the studio gave us is that weapon progression. If you're someone who's not the best at multiplayer but loves to play campaign, you can progress all your weapons in the campaign story, and all of the unlockables will be available in multiplayer. If you progress through your weapon levels in multiplayer, it will be the same level in the campaign and co-op modes.
That's dangerous. I like that.
This allows the entire game to feel consistent and continuous across modes of play, and lets players rank up their items up without being forced to play a singular mode the entire time. This may even promote some players to check out the campaign mode for those who only play MP.
That is genius.
That is
entirely.
really smart.
'Cause
One thing
yeah.
is, I'm sure to balance it out, though, it'll probably take longer than it normally would to level up your weapons. But since it's consistent throughout the 3 modes,
It's
I mean,
like, as long as
anytime you're
using it,
playing,
yeah. So that's cool because
So that's cool.
Because we all know the whole Black
And
Ops
it's not
4
like
struggle currently.
it's not like attachments really, change a gun that much.
It just makes you better at it, given whatever you want to do.
It makes it slightly better, slightly easier to use depending on the attachments, but it's not like it's going to take a
An
gun
OP
from
thing.
it's not like it's going to take a gun from being a pea shooter to being like a, you know what I mean, like a giant fucking bazooka.
to a bazooka.
So this one, it says report PlayStation exclusivity deal continuing for Call of Duty Modern Warfare, which was expected.
Yep.
Because if I do the math right, the exclusivity deal started for 3 games with Black Ops 3 with PlayStation, so that then rolled around, and then they renewed it with Black Ops 4. So I would assume they would have to have some sort of exclusivity for the next 2 games until the contract runs out.
And then they might even renew it again. Who knows?
But it says, first off, PlayStation uploaded the new Call of Duty Modern Warfare trailer to their Twitter and YouTube profiles, and at the very end of the trailer it says, play new content first on PS4. And now GameStop has updated their website with a new promotional image for Call of Duty Modern Warfare, revealing that you can get a double-sided poster with your pre-order. But the promotional image has the PlayStation 4 tag and says, play new content first on PS4 as well.
Damn, they're really going all out with this whole new face thing.
There was something on the UK PlayStation Store that said that new content would be available 7 days early for PlayStation 4. So similar to what's going on with Black Ops 4 right now.
At this point, it's like, who even cares? It's like 1 week. I'm used to 1 month from the crap that happened before. So.
Yeah, I mean, I wish everyone would just get it at the same time, but they have contractual obligations to fulfill at this point.
And they do have money on the table, so...
I don't know. Yeah. At this point, it's like... It sucks, but...
It's only a week. So
yeah, thankfully it's only a week. It used to be a month. It was a month for a while to wait for PS3 users, and then it's for the past...
Dude, it's been a
4 years. It's been like other than Black Ops, it was a month for Xbox users as well.
It's been literally a month for Call of Duty since, God, I think World at War, was the first contract, 1 month exclusivity. It's crazy.
All right. I'm just kind of going in a random order here.
So these are going to be the operator packs.
Call of Duty Modern Warfare operator packs detailed. Some of the special editions of Call of Duty Modern Warfare include operator packs, and the Activision blog has announced exactly what those packs are in the game. Here's what they are. In the new Modern Warfare, you'll have the opportunity to choose and express yourself as a number of diverse and named operators. Rather than having special abilities or weapons that affect gameplay, each offers their own backstory, nationality, character dialogue, character skins, and cosmetic customization options. The 3 operator packs you receive as part of the Operator Edition or Operator Enhanced Edition allow you to wear 3 themed operator skins and utilize 3 cosmetic weapon variants, 1 per operator, from some of the most popular and iconic Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare missions of the past.
That's cool.
Here's a breakdown of each of the packs. So you'll get all 3 of these if you pre-order either of any of the special editions that are available right now. So there's 2 digital editions, which is the Operator Edition and Operator Enhanced. Then there's the Steelbook Edition at GameStop, which I think is called the Precision Edition. So all 3 of those come with these operator packs. There's the All Gillied Up Operator Pack, named for the infamous flashback campaign mission in the original Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare, where you play as Lieutenant John Price. Must utilize camouflage and sniping tactics as you encroach the outskirts of the Ukrainian city of Pripyat. The operator name is Grinch. Themed operator skin is a full sniper ghillie suit, and the cosmetic weapon variant is a bolt-action sniper rifle in camouflage with additional netting and a suppressor, and what seems to be coordinates scratched on the surface of the weapon above the trigger.
Wow.
The Crew Expendable Operator Pack, paying homage to the second campaign mission from the original Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare, where you, playing as Sergeant John Soap McTavish, board an Estonian ship in the Bering Strait. Soap. As part of a clandestine raid by British Special Forces in an attempt to locate and obtain a rogue nuclear device. The operator's name is Otter. The themed skin is Special Operations with gas mask, and the cosmetic weapon variant is short-barreled pump-action shotgun designed for close encounters. In fact, the phrase is scratched into the stock.
Oh my god.
So the phrase "for close encounters" is etched into the stock. The weapon also comes with oil and surface markings.
Oil and War Pig.
And then the War Pig Operator Pack, sharing the same name with the Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare mission, where you play as Marine Sergeant Paul Jackson. lead a charge to push back an enemy counterattack and secure a tank. The operator's name is Wyatt. Themed operator skin is ground infantry desert camouflage with tac vest, and the cosmetic weapon variant is pistol with a lightweight custom trigger, flared magwell, grip with custom stippling, accessory rail for mounting lasers or flashlights, and war pig etched into the slide.
Wow.
So it seems like a consistent theme, I assume, throughout the game's life cycle will be drops of these operator packs.
That's great,
which
though, because
they are setting a precedent to come with a weapon skin, a character skin, and the operator itself, which are different characters which come with unique voice lines and things of that nature.
I think that's kind of cool, though, because if people are pissed with the whole re-rate of the series, they can at least be like, well, at least we have carryovers from what was the first game, second game. So it's kind of cool.
As far as I remember, these aren't names of people from the original games.
Nah, it's just a good reference, though, like War Pig and so... God.
But I mean, those are definitely missions from COD 4.
Yeah, so it's all like a legacy carry-on, which is cool. That makes me feel a little better about it.
That's cool.
It's kind of cool. They kind of went like the Battlefield way of doing it, where when you pre-order, you get content based off of a split person or reference to something, and you get like a pack of that guy. And
I mean, they did something similar to that in Call of Duty Ghosts. They did character packs where they had character skins where they would have like Price and then like a Captain Price themed camo and calling card and emblem or whatever.
And then there was Snoop Dogg and the Drill Sergeant.
Oh god, let's not get into that.
Hey yo dog, he capping B.
Alright, so now we're talking about pre-order bonuses for Call of Duty Modern Warfare. Digital pre-orders on the PlayStation 4 store, Xbox store, or Battle.net get a prestige token to use in Call of Duty Black Ops 4. GameStop US gets a free double-sided Modern Warfare poster. Game UK gets double XP bonus in Modern Warfare and a Captain Price figurine. And Amazon UK gets a Captain Price figurine. Call of Duty Modern Warfare Precision Edition at GameStop is exclusively available at GameStop in the US, EB Games in Australia and Canada, and more regions will have this edition exclusive to select retailers. So that's all the pre-order bonuses they've announced right now.
Yo, ooh. It's like getting better and better, and I think the best part is like they like obviously did the reboot thing, but they kind of like expanded and improved everything. So when you look at it from afar, if people are really that judgmental on the game because of the story rewrite, it's kind of dumb because there's so much new stuff beyond the campaign.
Yeah.
So. And now we have the Elite Operation mode, which I'm sure is somewhere in the news, but that's going to be pretty cool. So
another thing, which, I mean, I kind of said it before when I was talking about the Battle.net thing, but for PC, of course, Call of Duty Modern Warfare is going to be exclusive to Blizzard's Battle.net launcher once again. So I don't really play on PC, so I don't really know if that's a good or a bad thing for some people.
Yeah,
I know a lot of people would prefer to just get it on Steam. But, I don't know.
Exactly.
I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing. PC players, let me know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
I'm curious.
Infinity Ward explains why 2019 game is not Call of Duty Modern Warfare 4.
Okay, this is going to be very, very good, because I'm curious what they're going to say about this.
Many expected and extensively rumored that this year's title would be Call of Duty Modern Warfare 4, but Infinity Ward discussed why they decided against this. During our studio visit at Infinity Ward studio narrative director, Taylor... Kurosaki, who was previously a Naughty Dog developer and worked on Call of Duty Infinite Warfare story, explained the decision behind not making Modern Warfare 4, but rather just Call of Duty Modern Warfare. The decision revolved around the fact that they did not want this year's game to be restricted to the timeline and story aspects of what the original Modern Warfare trilogy had. They wanted to make this new Modern Warfare real. The game had to be realistic, authentic, and gritty, and turn into a game that is very realistic, ripped from the headlines, and is about what's happening in our world now, allowing players to feel a connection to it because they see it happening in the news today. Modern Warfare is a reimagining of the entire series and what the series can be in terms of authenticity. With the Modern Warfare trilogy, while it was a modern game, the story arcs that existed were not real in the sense that can be related to events from the world. Modern Warfare 3 ended with Russia attacking America, and Kurosaki said they did not see a path in which they could be that could be transformed into something that is real and relatable, while also maintaining the Modern Warfare trilogy story arc that existed before. And in this fictional story, it's hard to have a deep connection with what's happening inside of the story beyond characters, and Infinity Ward wanted to change that. There will be characters from the Modern Warfare trilogy that return, like Captain Price, but Infinity Ward declined to share information on any other potential characters being in this game. While this is Call of Duty Modern Warfare in the name, there's no connection to the story of Call of Duty 4, Modern Warfare 2, or Modern Warfare 3. This is a new story with a new arc and different characters. It's not a prequel or a sequel. Infinity Ward's studio head also mentioned that there are many original Infinity Ward developers, those who have left after Modern Warfare 2, back at the studio working on this game. During our presentation, many of those developers spoke about what it was like working on Modern Warfare and why they were excited to reimagine the series 8 years later. Some discussed that it was an incredible experience to be back at the studio to work on reimagining the series that kickstarted many of their careers.
I think it's cool, but it's obvious they're like really playing this safe just because of what happened in the past. But
I feel like Activision probably gave them no choice after Ghost
no
and Infinite Warfare both being not well received.
Infinity Ward is kind of, I don't know, like, honestly, I think they should just be booted off Call of Duty at this point, but I think they have one last chance, so
I think this game is going to be really fucking good.
Yeah, like, I think this game will sell.
It'll sell. Call of Duty will sell almost regardless.
What. Yeah.
But I feel like this game is actually going to be really good.
I'll have to even see. Yeah, I'm still, like, on the fence. If the rumor that they're gonna bundle this with a remaster of the Modern Warfare 2 story, that would be pretty cool. But after what he said, I don't think that's happening, because why would you put a reboot with a sequel to a game that doesn't exist technically now in the timeline? But yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be very interesting between hardcore fans and people that want to just try something new. I think it's cool that they're doing like an actual modern, like today version of with Price that was yesterday, per se. But it's gonna be interesting because we have a lot of stuff going on in the world anymore. It seems like every day there's like terrorism, which is unfortunate now. And I think it's a good platform.
I feel like that's kind of what this game is trying to tell or trying to show, and maybe like not even necessarily to show terror.
From, like, what we've seen.
Not even necessarily showing terrorism, like, from the just to do it, just because it's cool or edgy, but, like, to actually inform people that, hey, this is what people in the military see day in and day out. Like, this is the stuff that they see, and this is the stuff they have to deal with for the rest of their lives. And I think it's a very interesting thing to try to make a game about.
It's definitely interesting. I do wonder if they didn't have, like, if they had a choice, what game they would have made. Because, like, Ghost 2 is now becoming more of a open thing now that people saw what happened to Call of Duty. But
I feel like this, I mean, maybe not necessarily with, like,
I'm sure
necessarily including Captain Price, but I feel like this is kind of a game that they wanted to make, and they just kind of realized
they just had to
it's in the modern day. We could just call it Modern Warfare and throw in Price and a couple other characters. I mean, I'm not saying that they're shoehorned in there. I'm sure they're integral parts to the story, but I'm sure they were probably working on a modern game similar to this, and then they were probably just like, oh, hey, this could be a Modern Warfare game.
And they're like, well, the rest of our games are fucking garbage for the most part. I think we should probably make a Modern Warfare game and make it like it how it was. But it's going to be very interesting. I'll have to definitely see where it goes. Like, I'm guessing, well, we're not too sure with E3, because, don't know how that would get brought up on there. But I don't know, when they actually get more detailed into showing, like, campaign missions and stuff like that, like, hands-on, I'm curious how it's going to look. It's going to be cool.
Alright, so this next article says, Call of Duty Modern Warfare, crossplay confirmed and no season pass. So 2 big changes are happening with Call of Duty, starting with Modern Warfare. Activision has announced that Call of Duty Modern Warfare will not have a traditional season pass like previous years, as Activision moves to make changes to the franchise overall with the gaming industry changing. In the press release announcing the new title from Infinity Ward, Activision also confirmed that Modern Warfare will support cross-play as well between PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC. This will be the first cross-play supported Call of Duty game. Here's the statement from Infinity Ward. Every design decision has been made with our players in mind, said Patrick Kelly, creative director and co-studio head at Infinity Ward. With the launch of Modern Warfare, we're taking steps to unite the community. First, we plan for Modern Warfare to be played together across PC and console through crossplay support. Second, we're eliminating the traditional season pass so that we can deliver more free maps and content as well as post-launch events to all players. This is just the beginning. There's much more to come. So, of course, if you guys somehow don't know, traditionally for the past, I don't even know how many friggin' years, at least since Black Ops 2, Modern Warfare 3 is when they introduced a season pass model. Yep. It would be, you pay $60 for the game, you pay $50 after that for the season pass, and it comes with all the DLC packs.
Yeah.
And,
everything
many players were upset over Black Ops 4 continuing the season pass model.
When it really shouldn't have at all.
When it shouldn't have.
And apparently
at the time that it was even announced, Black Ops was the only, major, or Black Ops 4, I should say, was the only major AAA multiplayer game that was still doing a season pass, other than Destiny, but fucking go figure, another Activision game. Not anymore, because Bungie's not anymore. But still,
Bungie's
at the time an Activision game.
Yep.
So, I mean, even EA, for God's sakes, dropped the season pass model for Battlefield 5.
That game, yeah.
The Division 2 has free DLC. Rainbow Six Siege has free DLC.
So my question is, in the future, I mean, I'm looking beyond this game because there's definitely a bigger picture, like this hybrid game next year. But do you think, for example, so for a game like Modern Warfare where they only offer multiplayer maps, that is a very feasible thing. But what happens when you go to the next game that has zombies, has multiplayer, has that huge game concept? Do you think they'll keep a season pass somehow? Because that's a lot of content. It'd be great if they drop zombie maps for free. That's my dream.
I could see them dropping zombie maps for free, or if anything, maybe a $15 or $20 zombies pass.
Yeah, I feel like there might be a mini
but
pass.
I feel like that would piss a lot of people off still.
And people will cry about everything, so I think $25 is totally understandable.
I think the pizza might be here, so I'm gonna go fucking check. All right, so I don't really remember where we left off, but
yeah, it was the
$25
mini pass, and people cry about everything. Yeah, that was it. Yeah, and then the pizza man.
Realistically, I don't know that.
I feel like they have to charge for some kind of content with that much content, but this is really good.
I don't know, though, because I feel like...
I don't know. Then again, they're making so much money. Do they really need to even bother? I mean...
I think it'll all depend on how much money they make on microtransactions from this game. Because if it's enough to offset what they would think they would make from, a $20 zombies pass or whatever...
They probably curve it a bit. So this game's like a test subject, essentially, for many new things, which is cool.
Yeah.
It's the beginning of something new. Hell yeah.
But I also feel like people would be, really pissed off if there's a game without a season pass, and then next year the game has a zombies pass. You know what I mean?
Then again, it's not a full game season pass. But yeah, I could...
True, but
maybe...
I don't know.
Maybe if they do... This would be pretty cool. Maybe if they do, a zombies pass, they will up the maps in the packs, contrary to the 4 multiplayer maps, 1 zombie map per season. Quarter.
Yeah, or maybe there'll be some free zombies maps, and then you maybe pay for premium, extra or something like that.
Premium. It won't be a season pass. It'll be premium.
It'll be a premium pass.
It'll be a premium service.
It'll be a premium zombies pass.
By God, back. I had to throw that in there.
But all right. So
what else we got news-wise?
Call of Duty Modern Warfare uses a new engine. Yes, it's finally a thing. Call of Duty Modern Warfare uses a brand new engine. The first for Call of Duty in a long, long time.
Jesus Christ.
Call of Duty Modern Warfare features a new engine delivering an immersive and photorealistic experience. The new technology utilizes the latest advancements in visual engineering, including a physically based material system allowing for state-of-the-art photogrammetry, which photogrammetry is a new hybrid tile-based... Oh, wait. No, never mind.
That's a fancy word.
A new hybrid tile-based streaming system, new PBR decal rendering system, world volumetric lighting, 4K HDR, DirectX ray tracing on PC, and more, as well as a new GPU geometry pipeline. Spectral rendering delivers thermal heat radiation and infrared identification for both thermal and night vision in-game imaging. The technical investment provides a cutting-edge animation and blend shape system, while the new suite of audio tools supports full Dolby Atmos on supported platforms, along with the latest in audio simulation effects. So, of course, Charlie Intel says they had a chance to see the new engine in action at Infinity Ward. Lots of details, new levels of realism, and so much more. Eurogamer has also reported that Infinity Ward will be sharing the new engine across the teams, including Sledgehammer, Raven, and Treyarch. We are not told at this time during our visit, but we wanted to pass this along as it's big news.
Wow.
And yeah. So
basically this game, however the hell you feel about the reboot rewrite thing, like this game
just
is
from a
basically
technical standpoint is a huge jump forward for Call of Duty.
Like this is like a must check out game. Regardless of the campaign, you can throw the campaign out the window, and it's still a huge fucking game. So that's gonna be really cool.
A couple of YouTubers that I watched, they had videos go up yesterday talking about some of this stuff, and they went into a little bit more detail talking about it. And they kind of explained what all that techno jargon that I just read off means for certain things.
When you're actually looking at it.
So let's start by going through it. So, photogrammetry is basically the process of taking hundreds of high-res pictures of an object in real life, then making a 3D scan mesh out of it, and then placing it into the game.
It's insane knowing we come that far.
So essentially,
and stuff.
They've taken... From the videos that I saw yesterday, they said that they took things like cars that were burnt during the California wildfires, and they used photogrammetry to scan it and place it in the game as like a prop of like... to say place after a car blows up, or
so if your car was on fire in the California wildfire, you might have a cameo in this game.
or things like that,
something like that. That's cool.
And that goes for like they can do it for whole buildings, like market squares and stuff like that in different cities, and
that's insane.
It can really go a long way with.
So
you can go with something as small as like, say, a weapon or a car door, or up to entire buildings or city blocks, which is insane.
So does that mean now, in theory, game developers don't have to go to on-place locations for reference photos? They could just go on Google Earth and they could just literally mesh a building from Google Earth?
I think they still need to go take reference photos.
They still need a reference photos.
I don't think Google Earth is high-res enough to work with photogrammetry.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I'm like, wow, so we're really moving into some uncharted
But
territory.
maybe at some point that would be a thing.
I think it's going to eventually happen. That's cool.
Let's see. World volumetric lighting. That's just new lighting.
What you'd expect from gaming.
4K HDR, which...
4K.
4K and HDR is high dynamic range, so just a deeper color gamut. More colors being able to be displayed. Ray tracing is a light and reflecting thing, but that's only on PC. GPU geometry pipeline talked about. I didn't really see any of the YouTubers talk about it. Somebody mentioned it offhand, talking about just a new way of streaming data into the game for things to render more efficiently.
That's actually cool, though. Cause,
within, I guess it would be within the campaign levels and possibly the multiplayer maps as well, but definitely within the campaign levels.
That's actually kind of cool, though, because, like, remember how we were playing on the Titanic the other day? Like, running around, you'd see, like, the paintings on the wall, and, like, you'd be running so fast that you look over and the painting would just be a blur on there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's going to be cool
so
to
it's
see
to
it
improve
constantly
stuff
rendering.
like that, yeah.
Like, the little details will make it big.
The spectral rendering delivers thermal heat radiation and infrared identification for both thermal and night vision. So essentially this game is going to be actually fully real-time simulating infrared heat signatures and night vision.
That's insane.
Because whereas in pretty much any other, at least Call of Duty game that's done stuff like that, usually the night vision is like just a green filter over the screen.
That's all it is.
Usually the infrared or thermal sights is just...
So now
a site where if an enemy walks through, they're just glowing like red or whatever.
Yeah, so this is like the classic SOCOM filter, essentially.
Yeah.
SOCOM is like one of the first games I think to really perfect that for how it is now. But so that's all changing. So we're looking at like a realistic night vision.
Yeah.
Color code and all that. That's gonna be cool. Damn, yo.
Damn.
And
wow, then one of the things they were talking about for audio tools, well, Dolby Atmos is. I'm not huge on audio, so I'm not 100% sure what Dolby Atmos is, but I know it's like a really impressive sound system and stuff like that.
With like really high quality audio. That's gonna be really nice.
And I know one of the things that a lot of the YouTubers talked about was they showed off a demo of like the guns sound a lot more realistic. So instead of just like the the typical just or that you're used to in a Call of Duty, that it'll actually sound.
So if you shoot a gun and how you hear like the drop off, the echo, the acoustics, it's all gonna be in one sound file.
Yeah.
It's not just gonna be the gun firing.
But it's also going to be
Wow.
dynamic depending on where you are on a level, how like what's
Where
surrounding
you're
you.
standing, so it's going to be real life perception.
So
of
let's
what
say
would happen.
maybe I'm using an M4, but the M4 can sound 10 different ways depending
Yeah.
on if I'm in a building, out in the open,
Out in the open,
standing
a
near
mile
a wall,
away.
standing in a
Yeah.
giant open field, standing in like a fucking cushioned room or something like that.
Stand in the that penitentiary and they just put people in solitary confinement.
And they also talked about how, for instance, like if you're, like okay, so let's say you're standing next to a wall, and you're firing off your gun. There'll actually be different unique sound effects for the shell casings hitting off of different materials. So if it like bounces off of a concrete wall and then lands on like a tile floor, they'll have different sound effects for that.
Kind of reminds me of Hitman. Hitman was a pretty good series that really ranged. That's cool. Damn, yo, Call of Duty. I know at this point people are like, Call of Duty's dying, but I mean it's far from dead. Let's be real. But I think with all these improvements and this new engine, could you imagine where this is going to go in the future? Like imagine zombie maps like that, and just where it's all going to go. It's going to be crazy.
As glad as I am to have a break from zombies this year, I'm excited to see what technological advancements can be brought to zombies and what
Ops,
that can mean.
It'll be. It's gonna, honestly, we're talking like a whole new horror experience.
If they choose to go that way, sure, but
I feel like
I'd love to see what kind of
technical
stuff they can do with it.
Yeah,
they could probably do like dynamic. I mean, it depends on how far they want to go, but they could do like dynamic blood effects and like
they could really go.
They could have it like blood pool on the ground, and like if you like walk through it, there could be like footprints of like your blood and shit, or like.
I think that's already happened in Black Ops. I remember seeing that because I remember with Black Ops 3 on the Giant walking in the pool of blood, and then you'd see the footprint. So it'd be cool, if they continue with the blood going with it.
Yeah.
So you could see the snow and all that stuff, like when you step in it.
Yeah.
That'd be cool to see the blood effect. Oh man, I'm very excited about the future beyond this game for sure. This game is looking prime though.
Yeah. I'm super excited. I mean, granted, you can take it with a grain of salt if you want, because I'm a Call of Duty fanboy. But he
buys them all.
I do. I really do.
I'm just kind of here and there.
I'm really excited. I mean,
I'm a Treyarch guy, but yeah, I do play all of them mainly.
Regardless, even if you believe that it's lazy that they're just going back to Modern Warfare, regardless, I think all the improvements that they're bringing to the series with the new engine, getting rid of the season pass, crossplay, all these different things are going to make this game amazing, regardless of
the whole
your opinions on the reboot of the story
Yeah.
and whatnot. Just these improvements and what it means for the future of Call of Duty is exciting.
Yeah, this is like the game. Like I said,
because I'm assuming this is going to be the engine they develop most of, if not all, of their Call of Duty's 4 next gen.
Well, the cool thing is too, Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare redefined the Quake engine. Now Modern Warfare redefines the engine as it was. So it's kind of cool how that timestamp happened. Now we just need a World of War remaster on that engine. That would be beautiful.
I'm excited to see what Call of Duty can come up with. With this new engine and what kind of improvements we could see.
And like I said, you could literally cut the campaign out of the game and you still have a $60 game. Like there's that much improvement.
I mean, I'm so excited to see where the campaign goes though. Like I want to see what's good with my son Captain Price. What's good with my son Soap. I hope Ghost is in there.
I'm just curious to see what modern events they're gonna like put into this since they're redefining the series. So this is gonna be very interesting to see where modern events fall in and how we're basically it's just those characters in a whole nother timeline.
It wouldn't surprise me if there's something. I mean, there's probably going to be like some form of gas attacks, or some sort of biohazard type chemical weapon of some sort.
Oh, there's definitely be chemical
I'm sure there's
warfare.
going to be some type of riot in the campaign somewhere, some kind of riot
I'm sure the Juggernauts are going to somehow be there, probably in the elite
with their riot
operations,
shields.
and they're probably going to have a level when they all come running at you, just like Modern Warfare 2. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think the one place that they'll try to stay away from, because it was one of the big things they cited as like, hey, like this was cool when we did it, but like
Now it's even cooler.
now that we want to be realistic, it's like it doesn't make sense. Was one of the things they cited was like the nukes in Modern Warfare 1 and 2 that went off during the campaign, so I think they'll probably stay away from that.
I think, honestly, when they
It
are
might be a
making-
plot point of like, hey, like they're threatening us with nukes, but I don't think we'll see a nuke go off. I could be wrong, but
Honestly, I feel like in this new story, they're going to make references to what was the story that everybody loves. So if you're that person that's like, I want my Modern Warfare 4, I'm sure you're going to get something that
I'm sure there's going to be something that's like similar to the old plot line or that makes reference to it somewhere, maybe.
I'm sure it'll be better.
But not
than that.
like... nothing as crazy as Price walking up to Soap being like, oh, I killed Makarov, you should have been there, mate. But like something maybe like at some point in the campaign, like you're on a mission where maybe Price hands Soap in him 1911 or something like that.
He's probably going to just make a reference to it. So I feel like there's going to be a line in it that's going to go, Soap, what kind of name is that? I could just see him saying that
What the hell
somehow
kind of a name
again.
is Soap, eh?
Exactly, right? It's going to be cool. Oh, I'm excited thoroughly. I mean, I was on the fence, but after hearing all the new stuff that's coming in, the new engine, you name it, the 4K, the Gamma, all that stuff, and just knowing that there's no season pass, you have the operators that are to their roots and not something stupid like what Treyarch did with random specialists. I never liked that idea, so this is more realistic, down to earth. I can't see why anybody would pan this game besides that it's a reboot of the story that everybody grew up on. But that's
honestly
in the books.
Pretty much the only reason to pan this game is if you're really that much against the reboot, or if you're just a straight up Call of Duty hater. That's the only reason not to be excited about this game.
Exactly. And I mean, I like Battlefield 2 and all that stuff, so I'm sure people are going to be like, oh, I'll go back to Battlefield. But yeah, this is definitely going to be a new generation. The next generation of Call of Duty, I think, is here.
I'm excited. I just hope that they don't...
It's on the edge of a new console.
Very true.
Consoles.
My one hope is that so far, I mean, obviously, this game is still like 6 months out. It comes out October 25th.
I'm glad we're following the October thing now. We're out of the November crap, so that's cool.
The thing is I hope that they don't just give us one amazing game
and then
fuck it all up again.
Yeah, I mean, I'm willing to bet next year we're going to get something special just because of the scenario that happened. Now, after that, when it's a single developer cycle with one person
the
per
thing
game,
that worries me now that we know what we know about with Modern Warfare being on a new engine, my concern is Treyarch going to know how to use these tools well enough
in the timeline,
in the time frame that they have. See, I don't know how different it is to develop on from the engine they had, or if they just added on to it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if it's if it'll work the exact same from a developer standpoint.
I feel like they're gonna port what
I would assume that they didn't
Raven
make.
into.
I would assume that they didn't make something that's harder to develop on. I'm assuming it's just updated so that it can now allow for all these technological leaps that we're seeing. So,
yeah, and like I'm sure, going from. I'm sure Raven and Sledgehammer, when they started whatever the hell this Cold War game was going to be. Great era to pick, by the way, and that's kind of strange how Treyarch now has it because of Black Ops 1.
True.
But it's going to be interesting seeing. I'm sure they started making it on this engine. I'm sure this engine didn't just come out of nowhere. So I'm assuming the groundwork's
said
probably there, I'm sure. Now,
they said that Infinity Ward has been working on this engine for like 5 years. So
okay, so
pretty much since before even Infinite Warfare came out, they were working on it.
So basically, they were planning their rebirth.
So I mean, Treyarch probably at this point does have some experience with it. I would assume.
Sure. Yeah.
I mean, obviously, Black Ops 4 isn't on that engine, but I'm sure they have experience with using it.
And I'm sure these teams aren't strangers. I'm sure they hang out and have parties and have fun with each other and just go watch what they're making.
Regardless, with at least for the next 2 years, we're excited for the future of Call of Duty.
After that, it's going to be interesting.
Modern Warfare, I'm so fucking excited, dude. I loved Modern Warfare 1, 2, and 3. I, of course, love Black Ops as well, but I'm excited to see what they do.
You know, it's kind of funny. The next 2 years, we're essentially getting nostalgia trips because you have Modern Warfare, self-explanatory. And
It almost wouldn't surprise me if they kind of follow in Infinity Ward's footsteps and try to do a reboot of Black Ops 1.
Damn.
Where it just kind of follows Woods and Mason through the Vietnam War and that Cold War era, you know what I mean?
I feel like a part of me in the scenario Treyarch's in with the whole Activision wanting multiple Black Ops, I'm thinking if I had to predict this. Now, keep in mind, this is probably, about a year and a half from this game actually happening, but
yeah.
I'm assuming in the timeline they have and the connections they have and how their voice actors are very open-minded and they just want to go help them and do something cool. I think we're going to see a game that takes place around the time of Black Ops 1. It'll be like another Black Ops installment, but it'll be like either a prequel or around Black Ops that led into that with Woods and Mason.
I'm sure there's a bunch of things that, like missions and stuff that Woods and Mason have been on that we haven't seen.
Well, because in Black Ops 2?
Because Black Ops
80s, right?
1 spans between
the 80s,
from the 60s until the early to mid 80s, I think.
Yeah, because they have a lot of ones that have in the 80s.
And then Black Ops 2 is like the mid to late 80s, because I know there's like 1 or 2 missions where you're in like the Afghan war.
Yeah, because I remember that's in 86.
Yeah.
86 and like all that. So I think we haven't had a lot of missions that took place besides the Black Ops 1 story the way it was that were in between what happened in Black Ops. So I feel like they could easily make a story out of Mason and Woods. I think people want that. That's what I wanted for a while. And, well, we all know where Black Ops 3 and 4 stories went. So I think people would very well enjoy that.
Yeah, but with that being said, guys, let us know if you're excited for Call of Duty Modern Warfare down in the comments below. We'd love to know what you guys think.
We're pretty excited,
of course,
you could already tell.
Again, I'm a Call of Duty fanboy, but I am super excited, especially after the past, 5 years we have had of disappointing Call of Duty games.
Yeah, it's been hit
Advanced Warfare, I didn't like. Black Ops 3, I
got it for the zombies.
I played. Black Ops 3 was decent in my opinion. Definitely the best of the 3 futuristic movement games.
Oh hell yeah, by far. I got it just for zombies.
Infinite Warfare, I didn't like at all.
That's okay. I'm sure a lot of people.
World War II, on paper, should have been amazing.
It was handled.
And it was after the new studio head took over and got things back into gear. But for the first 2 months of multiplayer, it was rough. It was rough. There was barely any updates, barely any communication, because of course the studio heads were being...
They just left.
They just kind of left, or whatever the hell happened, whatever.
They just jumped off of a ship.
But then by the time that they started rolling out updates and putting out maps and stuff, I was pretty much done with the game already by that point.
Yeah, and
then Black Ops 4, zombies is alright, multiplayer is decent. It's just it's whatever. It's a middle of the road Call of Duty to me.
And I grew up on Call of Duty. I remember when Finest Hour and all that stuff came out. So I'm basically as old school as it goes with COD.
Yeah.
So seeing this rebirth is actually a good breath of fresh air, especially after what you just said with the futuristic era that should never happen again in Call of Duty or any other franchise that is like Call of Duty. But yeah, it's looking pretty good. I'm excited. Very excited.
But with that being said, guys, thank you so much for tuning into this episode of Pizza and Pixels. Of course, this is the podcast where JP and I order a pizza, talk about video games until that pizza shows up. Of course, you can get it every other Saturday at noon Eastern on youtube.com/HexxedPhenom as a video. Or if you want it as a podcast, an MP3 audio podcast, you can get it delivered to you that way on Spotify, Google Play, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, really any podcast service of your choosing. And that being said, guys, until next time, another one bites the crust.